Hey folks, it's Tom, your Frugal Prepper. So, the day has come that it is time to get rid of my Autel AL619. I'll throw this bad boy up on eBay. Um, I bought another scan tool. We'll talk about that in a minute. I don't get to pick it up until January the 5th. But, sell this one in the meantime to try to recover some of the cost of it and help pay for this other one. So things that drive me a little crazy about this scan tool have been it doesn't know about some stuff that it should know about. According to the ABS software, this thing thinks that Chevrolet never made a truck called a Suburban. This thing seems to not have good luck at all communicating with Subarus. It says it'll do it. I've had some that it will do it. You know, it wouldn't communicate with one. Thought, software, I'll update it. It communicated with one that was a couple years newer, but then it wouldn't communicate with one that was even newer than that. It seems to work pretty good on Hyundais. I think that coverage is pretty straight on. It worked fine on a Buick for reading airbag codes. It just doesn't know that there is a Suburban. And when I tried to tell it was just a 3/4 ton Chevy pickup, because I was working on a 3/4 ton Suburban, it wouldn't read the computer off of that. Other goofy things is like once in a while it comes up and it's like got these like codes. I think they're for like different computers on a CAN bus or something, but it's like got a hexadecimal address code, and there's like 3 of them, and you're like, which one is the one I want to see the data I want? And you have to keep going into each of them to find the PID you're looking for to get it to display. So there's a little goofiness there. The refresh rate is fairly slow on this. It's acceptable enough if you just want to graph a few things or look at a few things. We'll talk about the graphing. If you just want to look at a few things, it's acceptable enough that you can get most things done. If you're trying to graph, the graph is really crappy on this screen with its resolution and size. You're not going to be able to graph things close enough to really see what you need to see as you're trying to drive down the road and watch fuel trims or something. I guess it's not bad for a DIYer that might have one particular or two particular cars that they work on, as long as it happens to read their car. But Autel has improved things as they've come up with additional software updates, but this tool is just not there yet. This tool is kind of like still in beta or something. It's just not where I need it to be as a DIYer that works on a lot of different makes and models for friends and family and side customers and stuff like that. It's just not quite there. I have an Actron. It's an older one. I think the highest software update I can get on is like 2010. But it's not even supposed to read transmission codes. But it'll come up and show them to me, and I can look them up, what that code is. It won't necessarily give me a description, but it'll show me the code. It'll show me ABS and SRS codes, even though it's not supposed to do SRS. And the auto connect on this, it just doesn't really work very well. Once in a while, it'll automatically detect it, but most of the time, it can't detect what it is, and you have to go in and specify it, and then and then it wants to know, well, what's the 5th VIN digit, and what's that VIN digit? Again, that's all just time. It's nice if you can plug it in and it auto IDs really well. This doesn't have a built-in battery, so you either have to have it plugged into the USB or the ODB to power it. I think a built-in battery would be nice if I want to unplug it and sit on the workbench but still see what my codes were. But you can plug it in with this little USB cord, which seems to be all I can make that USB cord to do, is to plug it in. and power it. I can't get the drivers to work for it. Um, it's not a terrible thing. It does have a record and playback feature. I've tried it out a couple times, but in reality, it's pretty lame and useless. Um, it can save things off to the card, and then you have to pull the card out and put it in your reader and try to pull it up on your PC. Again, it's pretty useless for what I do. So, I mean, it says a lot of things on the box for this tool. It works on all 96 newer vehicles, domestic and import, and it diagnoses ABS and SRS system codes on most 1996 and newer major vehicle models. Chevy Suburbans were not a major vehicle model, apparently. It retrieves generic P2, P3, and U0 codes and manufacturer-specific codes. Yeah, for the most part, if it'll see the vehicle, it will. Turns off check engine light, yeah. Reads, stores, plays back live data, yes, but it's kind of useless. One thing that's kind of useless about the record and playback is it has such a slow refresh rate that you're not really seeing the data fast enough in the playback to, tell what's going on a lot of times. Like, by the time you've snapped the throttle and released it, it's now taking another PID after it's released. It never got the throttle snap, for instance. Retrieves vehicle information, yeah, maybe 1 times out of 10. Troubleshoot code tips, guide technicians to the root causes of trouble and codes faster. That's stupid and it's a joke. It's like the Code Connect or the Fast Fix or whatever. I don't even look at that crap because you really need to double check things for yourself. I might look at it for a list of things that I want to try as far as testing and verifying that they're bad or not. What's been common, but that's not a reason to go out and buy parts. It says it's got a memory card. Oh yeah, it does. That's where it holds everything. It's internet updatable and upgradable. Yes. Prints data via PC. Haven't tried it. Probably does. But it's got a list of GM, Ford, Chrysler, Audi, Benz, BMW, Bentley. I'm gonna say what I've actually ran the scanner on is GM's. Used them on Fords. I used them on Chrysler. Chrysler is one of those things that it often does auto ID on, and it seems to pick up quite a bit on Chryslers. So if you have a Chrysler, this might not be a bad tool. No Audis, Benz, BMW, Bentley, Bugatti, Ford, Mini. Let's go to no VWs. Let's see, I've done it on Hondas, Hyundais, a Kia. I did one Toyota, and and I also have done some Saabs. No, not Saabs, Subarus. So Subaru and this tool though aren't real. They don't play real nice. So that's where I'm at. I really thought about buying the Actron, was it the 9680 or whatever? It comes with the whole ODB1 kit and everything. And I thought about buying the one that doesn't come with that kit. I've been going back and forth between the Actron and the Innova. The Innova seems like a pretty good tool, although I've seen a couple reviews that said the refresh rates are a little slow on them. But what I got was the Innova 5100. It's really just a clone of it. So let me show you what I ended up buying. Okay, so I decided to get a Craftsman scan tool. And I know you're all like, what? What's that junk, right? Like, what are you going to do when Sears goes out of business and you can't even update the thing? Well, let me tell you what this scan tool actually is. This scan tool is actually that scan tool with different stickers slapped on it. So it's actually I'm sorry, it's not that scan tool. It's actually this scan tool right here, the 5100, with different stickers on it. So I did a lot of, trying to do a lot of reading of reviews. It's hard because a lot of people don't really use their scan tools like most people, like like I would use them, I should say. But this seems to be a pretty decent tool. Now there is that one model up, the 5160. If we look at the comparison chart, it basically has the bigger screen and it does steering angle resets. I don't need to do steering angle resets. I've never done one. I'll worry about that when and if I ever do need to do one. But if you can live with the 5100 and its features, you can see that, to get that on Amazon, $311. To get it from Sears, it's normally $319. It's $100 off right now, so $100. So basically, what I did, let me find this order here and show you, is I went here and we'll view the details on it. Let's see. Okay, so I used $30 off coupon. I don't know if it shows my payment methods, but I actually had a $50 gift certificate. So the 30 off took it to $189. I had a $50 gift certificate that I got for Christmas, so I used that, and it got it down to like $153 was my total for it. Plus, I'll earn $41.90 in free cash points that I can buy some more tools with once this comes in and I pick it up. And so that'll be like getting another $41 off. So it gets it down to around $100 for this scan tool. So this scan tool is the Innova 5100. Gives you a list of these features here. Pretty much does everything, but the main thing I wanted was this ABS and SRS live data. What that's going to allow me to do, which I can't do today, is I can back probe a wheel speed sensor and spin the wheel and see if it works or not. But when I have one that's intermittently might be dropping out, it's hard to back probe that thing and try to run it to your meter or scope off your laptop in the driver's seat and drive it down the road and watch it, right? This will allow me to graph that and watch it right on the scan tool and take it for a drive over some railroad tracks and stuff and see if the sensor's dropping out and which one's dropping out. So I think that will be really handy. That's one of the main features I wanted this for, and I think it'll probably work a little better than the Autel did from the reviews I've seen. If not, I think getting it for that kind of price, I should be able to sell it for what I have in it and move on to something else like the Actron. But the Actron does not have the ability to stream live data from the ABS system. But yeah, it comes with, you can even see here, free repair solutions. Well, that repair solutions website is the same website that Innova has for their, it'll say right here, this comes with the, it says it somewhere, it comes with the Repair Solutions website. Maybe it's under features here. So it is the same thing. Other things that I like is this has the oil light reset. I don't have that today on this scan tool, this Autel. It's nice when I'm doing an oil change for somebody not to have to figure out what the procedure is to go through all the buttons, pop in the scan tool, reset that guy. Battery alternator charging system test. Well, I don't have that today. I'm not quite sure how it'll work, but we'll see. Battery initialization. I think that is a bigger deal on newer cars than I normally work on. You kind of have to redo some things if you, disconnect the battery on some of those. But yeah, I'm pretty happy, and I like. It only grabs up to 2 things, but you can graph ABS. I have no idea why you'd need to graph airbag data, unless you're going to go wreck it into a pole and watch it and see what's. I don't know. Powertrain parameters, so you can graph all that, and it reads the codes. I think it'd be a nice, neat little tool. So anyway, that's what I decided to do. I'm going to try this again. Hang on. All right, folks. So, getting this baby, getting some pictures taken of it and listing it up on eBay. Can't wait to get that new scan tool in and go plug it into some cars and play with it and see what it'll do. But that's what's going on in my world of scan tools. All in all, if you're going to buy this, you might want to consider one of the lower end Actrons instead. It advertises that it does a lot, but it doesn't do a lot. And what it does do, it doesn't do quite reliably as I'd like. But I try not to judge things till I've used them for a while, and I've used this enough to know I don't think it's going to be the right fit for me in the long term. And I've given them almost a year to try to update things and fix them, and they just don't seem to be doing it. Some of the higher end Autels I hear are good, but after owning this thing, I probably won't buy a higher end Autel ever. I'm probably done with Autel. It's probably poisoned my Autel experience. I'll talk to y'all later. It's Tom, your Frugal Prepper. It's Wesley, Mini Frugal Prepper. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe. I'm always doing something with cars, gardening, sometimes guns, although YouTube doesn't like that anymore. Whatever. I'll talk to you later.